What industry in the next 12 to 18 months, maybe even 24 months, what things are you interested in learning more about that you maybe don't, or maybe you know a fair amount but you'd like to learn more? Give me a couple industries that interest Enrique.
Yep, for me, on a personal level, education technology is huge.
Yeah.
And so, we have innovated away from the blackboard and chalk. We now have digital whiteboards and pens. But when we think about the process of learning and education, I think that there's just a fundamental opportunity there. So we spend more in the United States alone. We spend more on education than Social Security and defense combined.
Say that again?
We spend more on education in the United States than Social Security and defense combined.
So
right? And this is K through 12.
Why aren't we just the smartest?
So it's an interesting question. You go back and kind of double click on that and understand what's involved here. What are the issues? And so you spend time thinking about the purpose of education and how that really kind of pans out and its intent. We have a lot of work to undo related to some of the things that we did back at the time of the assembly line. And the idea that the purpose of education was to create workers, to feed other people's businesses. And so now we have an opportunity to focus and say, well, what if each of us could think about the businesses that inspire us individually? How would we actually go about learning how to execute against realizing those dreams and those visions? Because each of us has different sensibilities and different backgrounds and different points of view about what's interesting and what's not. And all of them are valuable. And all of them are interesting, and we actually cheat ourselves collectively as a result of not giving all of us individually the opportunity to realize those visions and explore an opportunity to create a new business. We can go to business school today and get an MBA, and that teaches us how to run a business. But where do you go when you want to learn how to build a business? And that's a combination of skills and understanding how to run that chief experiment officer experiment of one market at a time and that problem answer solution pair. But beyond that, deeper than that, it's really a process of knowledge. There's a couple of things, right? One of how do we go about acquiring knowledge? How do we go about not stifling this incredible creativity that we're born with? Where you can sit a 2-year-old with a stick in mud and they're happy for 3 days, right? And as we get older and older, that creative juice kind of starts to meld and starts to kind of go away. Well, how do we actually continue that incredible curiosity all the way through? How do we then arm that with a set of skills and resources that allow us to really exploit and leverage our passion, those things that get up at 3 in the morning because I can't sleep because I have this idea in my head and I know it would change the world, to be able to galvanize those resources to actually get them out in the marketplace? How do you tap into, in the days of artificial intelligence, it was called expert systems, of tapping into people or systems that could answer questions for you? Now, mercifully, we have video conferencing and systems of engagement that allow us to find the real expert instead of a cyber expert as an additional set of resources. All of those things combined, and then finally from an education perspective, is the knowledge that things can take time. And you can actually, one of the beauties of college and school is that you can imagine a project or an effort that isn't just about tomorrow, literally tomorrow or next week, but it's something that with investment of time and effort, in 2 years' time, you can actually accomplish something that's meaningful and interesting. All of those things together are a part of an education experience. And so when I think about education technology to be able to support the transfer of that type of pedagogy, more broadly based, very excited about what opportunities emerge as a result of really reinventing the notion of what education means.